Welcome back to Pop Culture Explosion. I'm Michael Maddock. This is Paul O'Connor with me.
Here at Pop Culture Explosion, we talk about movies, television shows, trailers. We do all the information, we gather all the information, and we bring it to you. So, Mike, what are we talking about in this episode?
All right, we're talking about a spoiler-filled Batman versus Superman
Spoilers.
review.
Spoilers. So, if you have not watched the movie, stop,
Pause.
go watch the movie, come back, and hit play and finish the episode.
That's right.
If you don't want to watch the movie, well then save yourself $13 and just watch the episode.
That's right, because we're going to tell you all about it.
All about it.
So are we doing the good, the bad, the ugly format
I
today?
like that idea, but before we do that, I mean, Mike, how was your expectation level walking in this movie?
You know, it wasn't really all that high. I mean, I didn't get excited about this movie for the last 3 years until the trailers came out. Then I started to get hyped about it. So there was excitement there. I really wanted to see this, but I was also going into it cautiously.
And I didn't realize that I've been wanting this movie since I was a kid. I mean, I grew up with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and I love those characters. If I had a choice between Marvel and DC, I've always geared more towards the Marvel comics. But when it comes to the movies, as a kid, we only had DC movies, really. So, I mean, I grew up watching Superman with Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
I grew up with Michael Keaton as Batman, and I love those movies as a kid. And now, as an adult, the fact that we finally got the movie with all three of those characters, I was really excited about that.
Yeah, yeah. So as far as good, bad, and the ugly, let's talk about good. What did you like about it?
I did the beginning, the first 10 minutes, and the last 30 minutes. Loved it. When Metropolis was getting its ass kicked, and you saw it from the perspective of Bruce Wayne and the pedestrians, and you saw the buildings collapsing, you saw all this carnage. You didn't see that really in the first movie. I mean, you saw it from afar, but you saw it up front, personal, and you saw the loss of life. And I was so amazed and so impressed with Bruce Wayne when he landed in the helicopter, gets out, and he's
driving through the streets.
He's a bullet train.
He's saving people. You know, he saves a little girl, and he saves his employees. He's just running into it. You know.
At that moment, I'm like, yes, that is exactly what Bruce Wayne would do.
You were hyped right from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is going to be great.
Yes.
Wonder Woman, when she showed up, right before,
are you talking about actual Wonder Woman or that Diana Prince?
No, the Wonder Woman in the Wonder Woman. Yes, okay. when Doomsday was about to fry Batman, and she came in there and she saved his ass.
Well, she had the bracers.
She used she used her bracers, and just her look. Mm-hmm. I mean, that look of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass. She gave him that, like, oh, you just hit me, really? Okay, now it's my turn to hit you. I love the actress that played her. There was definitely a level of confidence that she had.
This is like old hat to her.
Right. I mean, Wonder Woman is probably one of the strongest female superheroes ever created. Not just with her skill for fighting and strength, but just her will is probably the strongest female superhero ever made. And she nailed it.
I mean, they utilized the bracers, awesome. She had the shield.
The lasso. That was really cool.
Done very well.
And yeah, I was really, really impressed with her. And I liked the fighting at the very end. And I got to say, we went there to see a Batman versus Superman fight. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you,
that was epic.
That was epic. I mean, I felt bad for Superman because Batman was just kicking the living.
He kill him. He could easily killed him.
Oh yeah. I mean, they settled the debate. Batman beat Superman.
Batman wins.
He did, and I thought it was really good. But during that time, this is the first time I've ever seen Superman look like an underdog. First time. I mean, you had it politically when he was being prosecuted by the government, by the senator. Public opinion was turned against him. I've never seen that before. Batman kicked the living shit out of him, and he was being almost held hostage because his mother was kidnapped. I mean, his secret identity was blown out the window. So this is the first time where I'm like, oh my goodness, Superman is extremely vulnerable in this movie, and I like that.
Well, just the gadgets, like, you know, you go into it wanting to see, well, how is he going to actually defeat Superman? And when he had the, you know, the gun with the those canisters with the
Kryptonite,
mist with the kryptonite, and he's all, ugh.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like, oh, he's done with it.
I'm actually,
He's done with
and
it.
the thing is, though, I mean, this is the second time, right? Two epic characters where I didn't know who to root for. The first time was when I was watching Game of Thrones, and you had the Hound and Bran Tarth fight each other. I didn't know who to root for because I loved them both.
Well, I was Team Batman over here, so I was like,
I was actually.
but then I
really-
was like, don't kill him, don't
No,
kill him.
don't kill him. Of course she's gonna kill him.
We like Superman.
And I kept waiting for Lois Lane to show up to say, no, don't kill him. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that was worth the price of admission for me.
Yeah. Well, and also the fight scenes. I mean, like when Batman is trying to steal back the kryptonite from Lex Luthor's thugs or whatever. The Batmobile.
The car scene was really cool.
Yeah, very epic.
So and also when he rescued Superman's mom,
Yes.
was really
Very epic
amazing.
fight scenes.
And of course how the guy blew up with the flamethrower backpack, that was pretty awesome
Yes.
too. So okay,
Very epic.
I think we covered the good. Let's talk about the bad a little bit.
Bad. I think there's a scripting issue with this. I mean, it kind of like they're butting 2.5 movies together is what they're trying to do, and they seemed like it didn't quite mesh. And then there was a lot of kind of slow. Like, come on, you know, what's going
Well,
on?
after the first epic part, right, then we had like an hour and 15 minutes of just depressing, dark.
Okay, so you mentioned that before. What was depressing and dark about it? Name some stuff. Name some
well,
scenes.
like
what
for-
particular?
Well, first of all, his whole entire motivation to kill, he was explaining his motivation to kill Superman, to defeat Superman.
Right.
Even
Which
though
was legit.
I disagree. There's a 1% chance that we're going to view it as a certainty. You know, that I'm like, come on, there's a little bit of a stretch.
That's a
here.
little over the top. He wasn't giving him the benefit of the doubt at all.
No, when
But
you're-
when you look at what he went through, they're just destroy. You know, all he sees is he doesn't see a bird; it's a plane. He sees this alien thing that's destroying, you know, the city or whatever. So I mean, I kind of can't blame him for that. I mean,
and again, I'm not blaming him for anything. I'm just saying I didn't agree with his motivation. Of course, that's just my personal point of view. There was, when I say dark, depressing, there was. It's almost like they intentionally wanted to remove any and all humor from this
I
movie.
think I read that that was intentional.
No, I'm saying that's
Yeah.
intentional, and I thought that was a bad choice, myself personally. When I go to a superhero movie, I want to be entertained, and you're entertained, I think, by good storyline, by excellent characters, by good adventure, but I do
Quotable lines.
and I do want to have that. Oh, that was funny. You know, like when the Hulk just beats the crap out of Loki. I mean, that was just funny as hell. Love that scene. And there wasn't a scene in this movie that I'm like, oh my goodness, I loved it. I loved that one. 10 seconds was just so amazing. The other thing I didn't like was it just seemed like the relationship between Lois Lane and Superman, I didn't feel any chemistry. When Lois Lane was drowning, I didn't care that she was drowning. First of all, I knew she was going to be saved, but I just didn't care. I didn't care on that relationship between Alfred and Batman.
They didn't really build it. I mean, they got 5 minutes to build on that, you know, because they're stuffing so much into the movie. With this new universe, I mean, Batman doesn't have a movie. It's kind of like, hey, let's throw him into this sequel to Man of Steel, which is also a setup for the Justice League, which is also an introduction of these other 5 characters.
And there was probably 45 to 50 minutes of that movie that didn't need to happen.
Yeah, it could have been. It was far too long.
Like, for example, I thought when Wonder Woman was clicking those files and she was looking at Cyborg, at Aquaman, and the Flash, really irrelevant.
It was kind of thrown in there. It's like they had to do something.
But they didn't have to do that. I thought Aquaman, that whole scene was just creepy. It just was. I thought the dream sequence that Batman had was over the top. Just, what?
Well, there was two parts to that too.
There-
They
there-
were
oh,
completely
there were
different.
two dreams. There's a dream instead of a dream, which of course I always hate. I hate it when that happens with me. And the dude talking to him, I guess the consensus is that was Flash.
That was the Flash
Somehow.
warning him from the future about, I believe, Darkseid. That's our
Yeah, Dark
theory
Side
on
is pretty
that.
much the theory.
Yeah.
But again,
It was cool to see parademons, though.
no, that was neat.
Yeah, I did like
The other
that.
thing that bothered me was Batman doesn't kill. And in this movie, I have no idea what his body count was. But he killed at least over a dozen people. That he killed. And Batman
Well,
doesn't.
hasn't he done that in, what about the Michael Keaton movies? With him shooting up the scene with the machine guns and sticking a grenade to somebody and whipping them off the ledge. Do you remember that?
I don't remember those.
We'll have to go back
things.
and look at that.
I guess
I mean,
so.
to me, that's not an issue. Batman kills somebody or he doesn't. I mean, to me, that's irrelevant.
Let's talk about the ugly.
Well, I know where you're going with the ugly.
Luthor.
He hates Lex
Luthor.
Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg's character.
The scene where they're in his house, that whole
You're
scene.
talking about the senator. Is he a senator? Right?
No. When he's at when they're in his house with Bruce Wayne,
okay.
and Wonder Woman was there. And
I love bringing people together.
I mean, first of all, Clark Kent is irrelevant when it comes to Bruce Wayne and Luthor. Completely irrelevant. How he even knew his name, I don't know. When he did that speech, it was so awkward. And they filmed it to be awkward, but when I think of a Luthor type bad guy, I think of someone that commands the room. And I just see a rich, whiny, smart kid that, I don't know, I did not like the character. Did not
So
like him.
if they did a better job with, let's say, Lex Luthor's character and everything, how much of a percent jump in your liking
huge,
of the music?
huge.
So he did a big detriment.
I
to the movie, so-
I think that actor just played himself. First of all, I mean, I've seen that character in numerous other movies that he's been in. If we had a Kevin Spacey type Lex Luthor, that movie would have been so much better in my point of view. I mean, it's like, well, what do you think would happen with Star Wars if Darth Vader had the original voice that they filmed the shows in? I mean, it just wouldn't be the same thing. So I was very disappointed with that.
I'm going to go on record for saying I did, when I saw the trailers, I wasn't crazy about him. But I actually didn't mind him. I thought it was kind of neat. So.
And I thought the movie was 45 minutes too long. Hands down, 45 minutes too long. My two biggest complaints is I think they made a bad choice with the direction of Luthor, and I just felt that Zack Snyder did just a really bad job. He did not listen to the fans, and he did not deliver the movie that I think we wanted to see.
And I'm going to go with, I thought it was an epic movie. I loved most of it, but then I was a little disappointed, and I thought it was a little slow here and there. Had some scripting problems, so...
Yeah. So, but you know what though, at the end of the day, I'm glad I went, I'm glad I watched it. It was not a waste of money, and I will be taking my daughter and my dad next weekend to go see it. But I only have 2 viewings in me for this one, and I probably won't buy it on DVD.
Well, I definitely plan on seeing it at least one more time in the theater, because there's so much in the movie. I mean, I like to pick apart movies, obviously, because I'm seeing it from a camera right now doing it. But I'll do it, much more in the personal life where I'll have the subtitles on. I've got to read everything. I've got to look up all the Easter eggs. This has a ton of that, so it's definitely warrants more viewings. I'm definitely going to get the Blu-ray extended, whatever with the most stuff with it. I'll definitely be getting that. So.
And guys, I'm sure there's people out there. Matter of fact, I have several friends on Facebook that are watching this that they are true DC fans. Patrick, you know who you are. I would love to hear your rebuttals. If you guys disagree with me and Mike, we'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
We want your opinion.
This again, at the end of the day, this is just a movie. So probably the thing that really, really just annoyed the living crap out of me.
This is going to go under ugly. Well,
This is definitely
I've
ugly.
got mixed feelings.
I've seen Superman die in the comic book of Superman vs. Doomsday. I saw him die in the movie Superman vs. Doomsday. In each scenario, he was resurrected. Okay, we did not need to see him die because we know he's going to be resurrected. if you know that you're going to resurrect a character and everyone knows that that character is going to be resurrected, why kill him? Because there's zero emotion to his death.
You ever watch a movie where you're watching it and you just don't believe what you're seeing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, I came out of the movie next to myself, looking at myself watching the movie going, what is this? I cannot believe what I'm seeing here. Like, I kept waiting for them to go, okay, he's here.
Oh, it tricked you. Look at that. He's popped out of the coffin.
Yeah.
No, it was...
Why did they kill Superman at the end?
It was so unnecessary. I mean, it dragged... I truly...
And they dragged on, like, the funeral scene. Like,
they dragged it so bad, and I love the cutscenes that Marvel does. I didn't want a cutscene for this, because I knew if there was going to be a cutscene, and you waited, right? There was no...
I waited till the end, and I knew that there wasn't, because I read about it. I just waited anyway. I wanted to see Ferris Bueller come out and tell me to go.
His death was just so unneeded. I had no emotional... I mean, I was surprised they went there. But actually, no, I wasn't. When he said, Lois, I love you, I'm like, oh, they're going to kill him. Oh, he's going to die. Oh, look at... Oh, yeah, he died. Oh, I'm so surprised.
I mean, complete with coffin and funeral and the whole... I mean, really, we could have just shaved all that off, had him defeat Doomsday at the end and be done with it, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Or even done something more with the Justice League potentials, you know. Now, the only... I didn't like that at all, okay. But the only maybe saving grace or factor is that maybe they were trying to bring something in from the comic book, like to try to include that. You know, like because like a hat tip or bring that part of the storyline in and just
I don't know.
It just seems so
unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
It was truly. It was actually a moment, and I think that was the defining moment for me. I'm really just going, You know, I mean, if they did not have him dying, and if we had a better Luthor, I would have been like, that was a really...
just a re-edit, I think.
Yeah, I want to see a Superman 2.0.
This is the other thing that bugs me about this whole death of Superman here. The guy just got blown up in space with a nuclear warhead, and he's gonna get a little pierced through the chest, and he's dead.
Well, no, it's different than that.
Oh, it's different than getting blown up with a nuclear warhead in space.
Let me finish. First of all, they teased us with his death with the nuclear missile. Okay? Oh, there's only one object. Well, where's Superman? Oh, he must have been disintegrated. No. And first of all, Superman can survive. But keep in mind, he's holding the kryptonite. When he's holding the kryptonite, he loses all his vulnerability, and he was mortal again. So yeah, Doomsday stabbing him in the chest with a big ass spike thing. Yeah, that would kill him. I still think it was stupid that they killed him, but
I don't know. I just didn't buy the whole thing. That whole ending was like crap. You know, they could have done way better with that. You know, whatever.
Final thoughts on Batman vs. Superman.
Final thoughts is I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. I'm going to go see it again. I'm going to own it on Blu-ray. It's going to go right next to all my Marvel films and my other comic book hero films.
I'm a 6.5. I won't be buying this movie, but I will watch it one more time. And I do truly believe that there will be a sequel. We will see a Justice League movie. Regardless of the results of this movie, it will make money. It will be profitable. Mike, what is the next episode that we'll be talking about?
Next episode coming up would be episode 7, and it's a headlines and rants. We're going to be talking about several movies that are in the news and things that are coming up. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much. If you've enjoyed this movie, please like, subscribe, put your comments below, and hey, share this with your friends. We would love to hear different points of view. Until next time, peace out.